My 2 folders left. There we go, Josh. Our first airplay mishap of the day.
First of May.
Yep. But I'll fight through it. As I said, beginning of the week, you always get one of these things from me, just to kind of let you know what's going on. A lot of what we do in here does tend to be kind of project-based, so it's bigger for you to kind of keep track of the upcoming dates. We're not at that project-based time yet, because it's the beginning of the semester, so things are a little bit more day-to-day. But on here, syllabus signature, the reading check quiz, I'll collect your homework assignment, which we'll talk about. We'll go over some stuff with the text. Make sure you do the student information form on Google Classroom. It's just a Google form that's on Google Classroom that I'll show you in a second. I think it's the last question on the Google form, is there anything I need to know about you that, I otherwise would not know? So, you're allergic to bees or something, although I probably sadly already knew that from your health report thing. But, Zelena stole your Snickers bar in 3rd grade and you had a rough go since then, so I'll split the two of you up if need be. You can't see where Taylor's sitting, so she needs to move up or whatever. Jonah doesn't like me much, we'll slide him back over there or something. So we might end up switching, seats around a little bit. Already said maybe split up the Lexi twins to make my life easier. But let me know if there's anything that I should know that I would not otherwise know about you on that form. When I say complete Google Classroom student information form, you do have through all of Friday to do that. So it's not that you have to fill it out by 2nd period Friday. As long as you submit it by 11:59 on Friday, it's on time, it's good to go, and you'll get the points for it. Same thing for Remind. As long as you sign up for Remind by 11:59 on Friday, you'll be good to go. This sounds silly, but make sure you put your name for Remind and your last name too. If you just put Josh. So put your name. Don't put CHS girl or boy because that's not going to be too helpful for me. But all of those things you will be getting credit for. So obviously go about and doing it. You should walk out of here on Friday with a pretty good grade, by the time all things are done. I'm not going to lie to you about this. The first 4 to 5 weeks, it's pretty dry. You're going to be taking a lot of notes. You're going to be taking a lot of quizzes on Fridays and whatnot. Some of you signed up for this class for different reasons. Brother told you to, maybe. You had so much fun in this room last year for all those periods. You like to argue about stuff. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why you're here, but I want to be as straightforward with it as possibly I can. It's CHS argumentation, so it's college and high school. So there is a college kind of curriculum that we go through with Pitt. A lot of that, honestly, is note stuff, fundamental stuff. I would say if you're to break it down in simplest forms, the first marking period is going to be more notes and fundamental stuff. The second marking period, the second half of the semester, that's when more of the argumentation stuff kind of takes place. It is a speech class, so the arguments that we do, the debates that we do are structured. So it's not a free-for-all when you just start yelling and finger-pointing. So if you are dreaming of coming in here on Mondays and just start going off on Steeler games or whatever else is going on, that's probably not going to happen. So I want to let you know about that. Obviously, there are reading assignments. Obviously, there are notes. Obviously, there are quizzes. Some people have said, I didn't think we had to do that kind of stuff in here. But no, we do that kind of stuff. And I'm not trying to make anyone, drop the class or change schedule. But I want you to know about those things before we get, too far into it. It is CHS. You are not obligated as a student to sign up for CHS credits. We do it through PIN. Has anyone taken CHS classes before through PIN? And whether you have or you haven't, a couple things to understand about it. Number one, I don't care if you sign up for it or not. I don't get a cut of checks that people fill out to Pitt. I don't get a set of steak knives or gift cards for every 10 students who sign up. Makes no difference to me. If Pitt is on your radar for college, and again, we're talking to all juniors and seniors, or if you're a senior and you know you're going to go to Pitt because they've already accepted you or you find out pretty soon, I would sign up for the CHS credit. This year, they have made it a flat $75 per credit. This is a 3-credit class, so the cost would be $225. $225 for a 3-credit class is a steal. You're paying a dime for a dollar, essentially. You're saving about 90%. If you are not going to Pitt, or if you don't know where you are going to go, it still would be a feasible option for you, because what you could do is still sign up for the credits. You decided to go to Allegheny, and then you could do a transfer of credit where they could still accept the credits. The unfortunate thing is I can't give you a master list of schools that will accept the Pitt credit. I just simply don't know. So as you start doing a little bit more with it, you find out you get accepted at, anyone know where they're going? Where do you want to go? No idea. Duquesne ends up saying, hey, why don't you come here? Okay. You can ask them, will you accept communication and rhetoric class from Pitt? They say yes. You go, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Send that to me in writing so that you now have a physical document saying that they'll accept the credits. You do have some time to decide if you want to do this or not. The deadline is like October the 1st for Pitt. So you do have some time to kind of figure some things out. $225 is $225. It's a really cheap price, yet it's still $225. And that's easier, for some people to come up with than others. If the financial aspect is of a concern, let me know privately, and then I can get your forms where they do some financial aid for CHS. It tends to be first come, first serve. If you qualify for free or reduced lunch, you just have to get your guidance counselor to sign off on it. If you don't qualify but there's still a financial hardship, I think they just have you kind of explain what's going on and whatnot. So that forms have kind of changed a little bit over the years, but let me know and I can get you with that material as quickly as possible. For the first time, the registration and payment process for Pitt is all online. So if you took a CHS class before, you had to bring in the form and a check and give that to your teacher and all that stuff. That doesn't happen anymore. So we'll kind of figure that out as it goes along, but I know you can pay by credit card and all those things now, and I think you can still pay by check. But that process is a little bit different, so you don't have to give me anything, which I like. No, I'm not responsible for miscellaneous checks. If you do not sign up, and then in November you decide that you want to sign up, it's too late, I can't do anything for you. If in November you decide, whoops, this was a mistake, you can still withdraw. I got to double check what that date is. But if you do withdraw from a Pitt class, you're not going to be getting money back. But the only exception would be if a medical thing came up. Doing some kind of refund for that.
Can I use the restroom?
Give me 2 minutes and then I'll be able to send money away. So any questions about CHS? The big thing with CHS compared to like say AP classes and whatnot, and at least with Pitt, if you go to Pitt, you sign up for the CHS credit, you would take the 3 credits to Pitt and you would be taking the grade with you. So if you earned a B+ in this class, you would have a B+ on your transcript at Pitt. So you do become a Pitt student in that way. So the benefit is, you could be going to Pitt with a 3.5 or 4.0. The downside is you could be going with a 1.0. I would hope that would not happen. If you end up going to another school and transfer the credits, the school would accept the credits, but they would not take the grade. So Josh ends up going to St. Vincent, they could take the credits, but you wouldn't be going with a B or a B+ or anything like that. If you have questions, let me know. The last page on your syllabus is this. You'll just tear it off and give it to me at some point this week, where it's just a checkbox, yes, I'm interested, no, I'm not interested. You're not signing your name in blood or anything like that. It's just a way for me to kind of gauge how many people are interested in doing it so I can do a follow-up. There are 17 of you. I would say a typical number is probably 6 or 7 that would sign up. If it's more, great. If it's less, that's fine too. But you can run those questions and whatnot. Lucas, let me go over the homework assignment so that you don't miss out on that, and then I'll let you go to restroom. Real quick, on Google Classroom, I just took a quick little snapshot of the webpage. You go to Google Classroom. When you get to Google Classroom, it'll put you on the stream. You hit the little classwork tab. At the very top is then going to be the student information survey. I'll have that up through Friday, so you'll just click on that little link for it. And the survey should only take you a few minutes to fill out. Should not be very long at all. But that's right at the top of Google Classroom. I know I said that we, obviously, I'll give you paper copies of everything and whatnot. We do use Google Classroom a good bit in here, though, when we're doing things with laptops and whatnot, because it's a nice hub way to kind of store things, resources that we'll be doing for speech projects and all those things. So at some point this week, just please make sure that you fill out that survey. It shouldn't take you too long with it. For the homework assignment that you have, it's two-sided. The first side's pretty straightforward. I want you to make a list of 5 values that you hold most dear and then rank them in order. This could be something that is abstract, or it could be something that is very concrete or tangible. For some of you, it might be your phone. I value my phone beyond all else. For others, it might be something a little bit more abstract, loyalty, love, education, whatever. But I want you to come up with a list. If you can rank them in order, that would be best. If you're not sure about 3, 4, and 5, that's okay, that you don't quite know the order. But what would be 5 things that are important to you? And it could be a mix of abstract, concrete, it's entirely up to you. Then I want you to find somebody else and have them do the same thing. It could be a person in here. So Lexi and Lexi could confuse me, and they could fill out each other's lists. But you spell your names differently, so that will help me out. You could find a sibling, older or younger. You could have a parent do it, aunt, uncle, grandparent. You could have a younger sibling do it, but I would make sure that they're at least old enough to understand what we're talking about. So, don't go to like the 3-year-old cousin. Legos. Cookies. More Legos. What else? Dinosaurs. Now you might talk to a 13-year-old that says Legos, cookies, dinosaurs, and things like that, and we can't help it. But they don't have to be in class. It could be someone you sit by with the cafeteria, study hall, another class, whatever. Not to be stupid, make sure you actually have someone do this. Don't make it up. I'm asking you to talk to somebody and get like 5 things from them. It should not be all that difficult. If you want to be a twin, and then go through and answer questions. Which values appear on both lists? Might not be, say one person says loyalty and another person says honesty. You could go, they're different, but there's still like a similarity, between the two or things like that. So you could still kind of tweak that a little bit. But which values appear on both? What accounts do you think for the similarities? How similar overall do you think were the rankings? And what accounts for the dissimilarities? Give me at least one complete sentence for all 4. Don't do that. Or draw an emoji. Or go, meh. But give me at least a complete sentence for that. All right, so that's just for the list, for the values. On the flip side, you flip over that sheet. Question about the lottery. This is a question about the story. This is not a question about the Pennsylvania lottery. Is the lottery morally justified? Is tradition sufficient justification for such actions? How would you respond to cultures that are different from ours, that perform strange rituals? Explain your answer. If you go, I think the lottery is morally justified because it helps senior citizens of Pennsylvania with all the money that we give for lotto tickets. I know that you did not read the story. And then you might get a 3 out of 10 on the reading checklist. So I want you to respond to the story of the lottery before you start writing it out. So if you are reading the story in homeroom for the first time on Friday, it might be a little tough to fill this out. Give me a 10-sentence response. If you want to write it in paragraph, that's fine. If you decide that, just to be careful, I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, and make a list that goes all the way down to 10, I'm okay with that. If your first sentence starts off with, "Hi, my name is Becca," and then your last sentence is, "I hope you enjoy reading this," I'm not going to count those 2 sentences. 10 sentences to answer those questions, I think should be okay. There's enough stuff in the story of the lottery to give you information to write about. 10 points for the back, because of 10 sentences, 10 points on the front. So that's a 20-point homework assignment. They usually don't go any higher than that. That's kind of high. But 20 points for that homework assignment, 10 points for the quiz, plus you're going to be getting up to 15 points for Remind, student information, and then your course syllabus signature. So a lot of points. Lucas, you can sign up and go. Thanks for waiting. No, I do total points. So so those 45 points or whatever, if we end up having say like a 50-point midterm, it's not that the midterm would be worth twice as much because it'll get multiplied or something like that. It's just strictly total points. Most of your points the first part of the year would be homework / kind of quizzes. The quizzes that we'll start with are going to be in that 10 to 15-point range. So you're not going to get like a 35-point quest that's going to be taking place. You will do a midterm pit. The nice thing about this CHS class compared to some others, like if you took CHS Chem or you're taking business calc or whatnot, there's pit tests that you have to do. Pit does give argumentation a lot of freedom. I have to give a comprehensive test. I do it as a midterm because we've gone through all that information at that point. And there's some source research stuff that we have to do. But compared to a lot of other CHS pit classes, we kind of get it easy in that regard. But everything is just going to be weighted. As we get in the second half of the year and we start doing like larger speech assignments, then it'll be like 75 points, 100 points, and stuff like that. But there's not going to be a speech column of grades, a quiz column of grades, a homework column of grades. Okay. Any other questions about the stuff we've gone over? All right. The syllabus that you have, so green packet number 1. The first couple pages of this is what Pitt requires to be in the syllabus. So whether you're taking this class here or at Pine Richland or North Allegheny, it would all say the same thing. An important thing for you is going to be this code up here. For North Hills, you're taking CHS argumentation. At Pitt, if you sign up, you would be taking Communication and Rhetoric 500. So when you are asking the Alleghenies, the Penn States, the Duquesnes, the Slippery Rocks of the world, will you take this Pitt credit? They're going to ask what's the course. You would be going Communication and Rhetoric 500. You're not going to go CHS argumentation, Mr. Dane. Because they'll probably just go, huh? So Communication and Rhetoric. The nice thing about this class for a transfer, most colleges are going to require you to take some kind of public speaking or communication course. You still have to take like general ed classes when you go to college. So most schools will still want some kind of communication. They would be more likely to probably take hours than if you are going to be a math major. They might not want to accept the CHS Calc because they know that you're going to be focusing on math at their school. But because it would be like considered a general ed class, there's a good chance they would probably accept it. So that's something that kind of could be in your favor with. But real quick here, because we're already kind of getting to the toward the end of the period. Once it comes to grading, and Leah, you're asking about this, things don't get weighted, and the percentages are the same. Now there is a weight for your GPA. Because it is a CHS class, you get 0.4 added. So AP, you get 0.6. Honors is, I think, 0.2. Or, yeah, 0.2. For CHS, you do get a 0.4. So we don't weight assignments, but if you get an A, you get a 4.4, instead of a 4.0 or something along those lines. So that would be, that's kind of nice for you. One thing I did want to let you kind of know about are certainly going to be the types of assignments that we're going to be doing. So down at the bottom, after it talks about attendance, we kind of talked about homework, some reading assignments are going to be happening, research. One of the big things that Pitt requires is that you get at least 50 sources. You collect information from at least 50 sources throughout the course of the semester. It's an odd requirement of theirs, but it's one of them. That won't be hard to do. We will cover plenty of that. Most of the topics that we kind of take a look at are probably going to be current event, information. There'll be plenty of stuff for us to take a look at. Not this week, but probably by mid next week, all of you will start speaking in front of the class. We'll get your toes wet. It's not going to be a big formal thing. It's not something that you need to start planning a whole big speech for, but we'll get you at least kind of used to talking in front of people for a little bit if it hasn't happened. If you're uncomfortable with speaking in front of people, it's a good reason to be here because you're going to have to do it, at some point. So if that's something that you don't consider a strength, that's not a reason to necessarily change classes. Because college interviews, job interviews, all those things, you got to learn to speak in front of people. So I don't want you not taking the class just because you're afraid of speaking, but I do want you to understand that there will be a fair amount of speaking that is going to certainly be taking place. We are doing some writing assignments, not immediately, but we'll have some essay kind of assignments that we'll be doing, and there's going to be a variety of speaking activities. When you do your first speeches assignment next week, at most, you're going to be talking for like a minute and a half. As we do things later on, you'll be talking for like 7-8 minutes. When we do our speeches, you're not going to come up and read them because then you're just going to be staring at the paper. That doesn't mean that Lexi's going to memorize everything word for word. She could still have notes in front of her, but it would be a little bit more of a natural communication discussion as opposed to reading things word for word. The main thing that we're trying to do through the speaking is inform, educate. So if Lexi's not sure where she stands on a given topic, by having Rebecca and Paige debate it, she learns more about it. Yes, it's always nice to win, and maybe Morgan will do whatever she can to defeat people. Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
She's not going to do that?
Probably not.
Okay. Who do you think's like the most cutthroat person in here?
It's always the quietest.
I think Sophia hates the lose.
Yeah, I see lots of L's in the future.
But just the main objective isn't necessarily to make Josh look like an idiot or to make fun of Sophia and her height.
Hey, whoa.
We'll have to explain it to Katie, though, so that-
Okay, oh my gosh.
We'll be doing the whole inform. Have a good day. Just get Adele to start laughing, and then she won't be able to stop. I was giving them a tip.
Once I started,